Check, check. Hello, everybody. We're going to get started. Welcome to breakout session 3245, Leveling Up Your Organization's Security Posture with Office 365 Applications. My name is Mike Pear. With me is my colleague Sriram Iyer, and we both are program managers from the Office Client App Security team. Oh, thanks. Clicker. So before we get started, I'd like to get a feel for the folks in the room. I do like the smaller, more intimate audience this time, so this will be a good opportunity for questions and more close engagement here. So just get started with a show of hands. How many of you are IT security professionals at your company? All right, most people here. And how many of you have Office 365 client applications deployed widely in your environment already? Widely deployed? How about not widely deployed, but piloting or in the evaluation stages? Okay, super. So it seems like you are in the right place. So many of you will already know, but the Office 365 client applications are the most secure version of Office apps. Now, that is where all of our modern innovation goes, including in the security space. Now, of course, perpetual versions of Office that are in market today, and some of the new ones like the Office 2019 that just got announced, 2013, 2016, 2019, these perpetual versions, we will continue to ship security fixes to those versions. And 2010 for the time being, even though that's end-of-lifing soon, I'm hoping that none of you are running 2010, am I right? Now, Office 365 client applications, however, get all these security fixes in addition to great new security features and security enhancements. And we're excited to talk to you today about some of the security-related enhancements coming to the Office 365 client applications. I'm going to get started talking about information protection. So how many of you have, in this week at Ignite, have heard the term Microsoft Information Protection, or MIP, already? Several of you, awesome. So for you, this is going to be a bit of a recap, but I'll keep it pretty high level here. The mission with Microsoft Information Protection is to enable you and your users to discover, classify, protect, and monitor sensitive data in your environment across devices, applications, and services. This is a huge bet for us at Microsoft. Within the umbrella of Microsoft Information Protection, there are many capabilities and tools at your disposal to help you and your users discover, classify, protect, and monitor sensitive data. Today, in this session, we're going to be talking about how Office 365 client applications play a part in this MIP story, and how we can enable better together type scenarios with these tools and capabilities in Office. Now, of course, this is a 45-minute session. I don't have time to talk about all of these capabilities today, so I will focus on two of them. The first is Office 365 message encryption. How many of you have heard of or used Office 365 message encryption? Some of you? For those who haven't, Office 365 message encryption enables Office 365 users to send encrypted messages to anybody, whether they're colleagues of yours in your company, partners in external companies, and even consumer users in a way that they can open them. That doesn't require complex deployment, configuration, PKI, generating certificates, things like this that you might be familiar with if you know about SMIME or PGP. Office 365 message encryption is just part of the suite. It's just a feature that's there, and it works with little to no configuration. And so I'll get started today talking about how we are going to build this and how we are building this into the Office 365 suite of applications, focusing on Outlook. So I will switch over here to 4. So what I'm running here on my Mac is Mac Outlook. I'm playing the role of a tax preparer who needs to send sensitive financial information to my client. My client is a Gmail consumer user who doesn't have anything to do with the Microsoft ecosystem at all. And so here in Mac Outlook, I just need to write my email just like normal. I've attached the financial document. As you see, it's addressed to a Gmail user. Now, I know that this is sensitive and I want to encrypt it. So one thing that we're doing here in the Office 365 version of Mac Outlook for Mac, is we have this encrypt button. Before, if you've used this, we had a permissions button with a red do not enter icon. We're giving that a facelift to make it a little bit more straightforward and intuitive for users. And so we just have this encrypt button, and that's all you need to click. You click encrypt. This message is now set up for encryption, and I can send it along to my Gmail client. And I am doing this as a live demo, so let's hope that the Wi-Fi is working. So to demonstrate this from the client perspective, my Gmail client is running an Android tablet. And here in the Gmail app, let's hope this mail got delivered. There it is. So I have the 2017 tax return that my tax preparer sent me that I've opened up here in the Gmail app. And as you can see, it's got this nice wrapper around it. It says that Mike Pear sent you a protected message. It says who it's from, and it gives me a link to click it and read the message. All of that happened just behind the scenes because of Office 365 message encryption. Now, this is a treatment that the user sees when they're receiving this message if they're not part of that Microsoft, there we go, the Microsoft ecosystem. They're not using Outlook. They're not using Office 365 or Exchange. They're just on Gmail, so this is the kind of experience that they see. So this user can click read the message, and they're presented with a prompt to either sign in with Google or request a one-time passcode. And so since I'm already on my Android device and I'm signed in with Google generally, I can click that. And what happens is an Outlook web access window loads, and I can read that message right there with the attachment and everything. And that was an encrypted message. It's truly encrypted. And so only I am able to open it as a recipient because I was the one listed in the to line. We've even lit it up such that I can reply right here in line. I can tell him thank you. Remove this guy, send. And now let's check out what the experience is coming back to me as an Office 365 user who sent the email. So back on my Mac here, I have Outlook, and hopefully this will get delivered here. There it is. And you can see that I can just get that email like any other email. It opens up for me in line without me needing to click any sort of extra button or do any extra authentication here. And the message is decorated in my message list with a lock icon indicating it is still encrypted. Okay, switching back to slide 5, the slides. Sorry, everyone, we have so many devices up here. Here we go. Okay, so that was a quick demo of Office 365 message encryption in Mac Outlook. Now, if you're anxious to get started using this in Mac Outlook, we just started rolling that out to the Insider Ring this week. And so if you are part of the Office Insider program, and I'll come back and explain more about that later, then you're able to get that as a pre-release feature and start using that today. And the rest of the Office apps have some flavor of this in some capacity, and we'll be rolling out exactly what you've seen here to the other Office Outlook apps in the Office 365 suite over time. Next, I'll switch gears here from Office 365 message encryption to talk about Azure Information Protection. Now, how many of you have Azure Information Protection deployed in your organization? And how many of you know about it but are not deployed yet? All right. This is Azure Information Protection today. It's an add-in for Office on Windows that allows users to apply sensitivity labels to their documents and emails. The concept of a sensitivity label is absolutely core to the Microsoft Information Protection mission. The sensitivity label is admin configurable. Admins can configure the set of sensitivity labels they want available to their users to tag their documents and emails. Things like general, public, top secret, confidential, whatever makes sense for your organization. But the beauty of the sensitivity label is once it's applied to a document or email, that label will automate protection, the protection settings that an admin says need to apply to content with that email. The label's persistent, so it travels with the document or the email wherever it goes. And so any system that is enlightened to understand that label can act on it. And so what that means for Microsoft and for Office is any of our systems, SharePoint, Exchange, Office apps, and so on, that understand these labels can act on them and make sure that that protection persists everywhere that that file travels in a coherent way. This is a big bet for us. We understand that Azure Information Protection users, they love this concept of sensitivity labels, but they're limited in where they can use it. Today, in the Windows Office apps is where you can use AIP, but we understand that customers have a mix of devices and platforms in their organization. You might have Macs, iOS, Android devices, and so on. And these sensitivity labels are only really valuable to you if your users are able to use them wherever they use Office and whatever platform they're on. And so we are building that sensitivity labeling capability directly natively into Office in a way that doesn't require any additional plugins or add-ins or additional deployments. If you have Office 365, then this is a feature that will just become available to you if you choose to configure it. So, without further ado, I have several demos to show you of this in action in Office apps. So I'll switch over to 4 here. So I'll get started in Word. Here's Word on my Mac. You'll see that I got a sensitivity button right here in the toolbar. In the sensitivity button, this is where the labels that are pulled from the Microsoft Information Protection backend get synced down, and they're here natively for me as a user in my app. And so I, as a user, I'm an information worker working in the merger and acquisition department, and I know that this merger and acquisition plan is somewhat sensitive, and I should do something with it to protect it, but I'm not entirely sure what I should choose. And so admins have the ability to define what we call tooltips for each of the labels that users can see as they're picking through. They can even define a learn more URL that says, as a user, if I want to learn more about these labels, my IT department can deploy guidance to me about what the labels are, when I should use them, what examples of documents and emails should be labeled in certain ways. So right here in Word, all I have to do now to be compliant with my IT's policies around sensitive information, like this merger and acquisition plan, is to choose this highly confidential label, because that's what my IT department has recommended for content like this that's very, very sensitive. And you'll see, by applying that label, what happened was I got an IT-defined message at the top of my document, a header that got set automatically for me. There's a red watermark that was added here across the background of the document, and a footer was set for me. All those things happen automatically because the admin defined those as policies of things that should happen when content gets labeled with the highly confidential label. Furthermore, you'll see in the bottom here of the app, in the status bar, you have an indicator that shows that, yes, indeed, the highly confidential label is applied. This is a label that, like I said before, travels with the document. It's metadata of the document. And so there it lives in the status bar to indicate, yep, that's what's applied, and that's what other systems will be able to understand if they're enlightened in the MIP label capability. The last thing you'll notice is there's a lock icon next to it in the status bar. And that indicates that this document is also encrypted because the admin has specified that highly confidential documents should be encrypted with a policy that prevents anyone from opening it who doesn't have access to highly confidential stuff. Now, so I've created this document, and I've labeled it as highly confidential. So we'll switch over to 8. Oh, sure, go ahead. So all the configuration for labels, these sensitivity labels, will be done in the M365 Security and Compliance portal. There are other sessions that I'll have some links to these other sessions at the end that describe it in much more depth about every single setting that you can set. I'm going to keep it fairly high level for this talk, just showing how this integrates with Office. But headers and footers are just basically custom text and font sizes and colors that an admin can define. And when that policy is downloaded and we apply a label, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, et cetera, know how to just apply that into the document. And that becomes persistent in the document as well. All right, so now let's say I've published this merger and acquisition document within the highly confidential community of the M&A team, and now I share that with a colleague of mine who's running on their Android tablet. they can open that document in Word on Android as well. And rest assured that A, they will be able to open it, and B, they can interact with the label that is on the document. So here I am opening up the document. Now let's say, as you can see, the header and footer and watermark all show up just like you saw before on Mac. And we have the sensitivity button here natively built into the Android version of Word. And that shows that highly confidential is applied. Now let's say that the merger acquisition went through. It's public information now. And so we can downgrade the sensitivity. Because I, as a user in this group, am configured by my admin to require a justification to downgrade a label, which means going from highly sensitive label to a lesser sensitivity of a label. That's a policy that was pushed to me or my group or my entire organization. It's all configurable in the admin portal. But for me, that policy is turned on. And so as you can see, I get a prompt here as I try to downgrade that justification that asks me why. And I can choose one of these predefined options, or I can click on Other and type in my own rationality. Now, all this information about why I'm downgrading the label is registered as an audit event that then gets pushed up to the admin portal for later investigation if necessary. All right, so I'll cancel out of that. Now I'll switch over to 6. I also want to demonstrate Word is not the only app that we're building this into, and Android and Mac are not the only platforms. So here I have my iPad. And another capability I want to demonstrate here is as I create a new document in PowerPoint here, there's a policy that my admin has pushed to me with this MIP labeling story that says that all new content that I create should be labeled a certain way. And so one thing you'll notice right away, if I zoom in here, at the bottom, this new document just got a footer already that says Contoso General. And that's because this Contoso General footer is set up as an outcome of applying the general label. And I have that default label policy configured for me as a user. So as you can see here in the same sensitivity picker in the menu, general is just automatically applied. And that will apply to any new document I create in Word, Excel, PowerPoint, or Outlook, because that is a policy that's configured for me. So now I'll go ahead and save this. Presentation 10, as you can see, I've done this, testing it out 10 times today. And now I'm going to open that up on 8. The next thing I want to demonstrate here is, now what happens when I open up this document on Windows? So on Windows today, if you already use Azure Information Protection add-in for the Windows version of Office, you might already have that deployed in your organization. And you might be worried that the labels that we're creating here in this MIP platform might not be compatible with AIP, which you already have deployed. You don't need to worry at all about that. We have built the system to be totally compatible between the existing version of AIP that you might already have deployed and the native version of Office that this feature will just light up in. So here I have a machine on Windows that runs the Azure Information Protection add-in. Here's my presentation 10 that I just created. I'll open that guy up, and you'll see that the footer is still there, and the sensitivity button, which is the add-in of Azure Information Protection that was installed here, shows and knows that this is a general document. And of course, I can change the sensitivity here, and it's all just going to work across the board, native and the add-in. Now we'll go back to 4. Now I've showed you Word and PowerPoint on a few different platforms. Here on my Mac, just so we can give Excel some love, of course, the sensitivity button, as you've seen in all the other apps, is there in Excel as well on the Mac. And Outlook has it too. So in Outlook, as I compose a new mail, first thing you notice, there's a bar here that shows general is applied. Again, because that is the policy that's pushed to me that all new content I create should be starting to be labeled as general. But here in the toolbar, you'll find the sensitivity button, same thing you're used to. Let's say that I am writing a marketing mail or something that my colleague needs to go post on a blog that's going to be publicly available. This isn't really a general piece of content. This is more of a public piece of content. So I'll change the label to public. I'm going to mail this to myself, just so you can see how it shows up as a recipient. Marketing material. And I'll send this to myself. Give it a second to get delivered here. And what you will find is the mail that gets delivered. You'll see in the recipient view, there it is, public. It shows me that that is the sensitivity of the label, and it gives me an indication of what I'm able to do with this content and how sensitive it is. All right, so you can switch over back to 5. So that was a quick demo of showing you that sensitivity labeling is something that we're absolutely building across platform on the Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook apps. And we have a question.
Sorry, from what version is it built into Office? Is that the latest one? Or did you comment?
I will show you that on the 2 slides from now. The last little demo, this isn't a real demo yet, this is just a video. The engineers over in Redmond are working on this right now, of building this into the mobile Outlook app as well. We know that's very important for many customers. So this is just an early indication of how you can expect it to work on the mobile form factor for Outlook. All right, super. And this is hopefully the answer to your question. I'm sure several of you are anxious to start using that now in the Mac or the iOS or the Android apps. So we have started the rollout of the native sensitivity feature that I just demoed on Mac to the Insider Fast Ring this week. So you can come back from your Ignite trip next week, get back to the office, get into the Insider Fast Ring, and you can start testing out this functionality in Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook on Mac. Now, the Android and iOS capabilities I just showed you on Word and PowerPoint will also be rolling out soon to the Insider Fast Ring in the coming weeks. And then the rest of the apps that I've talked about here will make their way over the course of the rest of this calendar year. And by the end of 2018, you'll have Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook native sensitivity built into your Mac, Android, and iOS and Windows apps natively. And web will come later in 2019 calendar year. There's a link at the bottom here to some documentation and known issues. As I said, this is coming to the Insider Fast Ring. And so, of course, everything in the Insider Fast Ring is pre-release software. There are a couple of known issues there, but you can stay up on that list there, and we'll keep that updated when there's more announcements about new platforms and apps coming on board into that Insider program over the coming weeks and months. I've mentioned the Office Insider program a few times. If you want to have access to this and you're not already an Office Insider, we invite you to go to office.com/insider, and that has instructions for your various platforms, Mac, iOS, Android, et cetera, to opt into that program. And that gets you access to more than what I just showed you here. It's more than just the sensitivity labeling and the Office 365 message encryption features. Other great new Office 365 pre-release features will also be made available there too. And there's a great community that you can reach out to and ask lots of questions about that kind of stuff and provide us feedback so we can adjust the experience before we go live worldwide. Now here's our long list of related Microsoft information protection sessions. Unfortunately, some of them happened yesterday. The 2 on the top go into more depth on the different MIP components and capabilities that are available to you. So if you missed those yesterday, I encourage you to go back and check those out on the recordings. The one in the middle that I've highlighted there is a deep dive session on Office 365 message encryption. So if you're interested in all the new stuff coming to OME, I encourage you to check that one out as well. And the rest are relevant for the other MIP capabilities for what this means in the Windows devices and so on. A lot of great stuff in there, so please check those out. And without further ado, I'll hand over to Sriram to switch gears from information protection to go over to threat protection.
Check. Thanks, Mike. Hello, everyone. I'm Sriram. I work on the threat protection investments in Office 365 client applications. So Mike just talked to you about protecting data from disclosure. It's important. And the native classification and labeling experience that he just walked you through is a great example of a continuous investment we're making to Office 365 apps that make protecting your data simple. But at the same time, you all are in the middle of another fight. a fight where you have to defend your users and your networks from malicious attackers. And in this fight, you will encounter a lot of opponents who will come at you with different motivations, different levels of sophistication, and it can be a very costly fight for you to lose. And the bad news is it's only getting popular every year, which means you have to stay in this fight whether you like it or not. Now, proactively investing in leveling up your defenses can help you avoid becoming an easy target for attackers and can be less costly than having to do so after having to recover and rebuild once you've been compromised. And the focus of our investments in threat protection and Office 365 applications are to provide you with the defenses that raise your overall security posture and make you a more harder and resilient target. Now, we do this through a combination of two approaches. First, by investing in mitigations that protect your users out of the box. So all you have to do is deploy Office 365 applications. Second, by giving you, the customer, the controls and the solutions needed to tune the security of Office applications to suit your environment, to balance your security and productivity needs. So the rest of the session, we'll walk through some of the defenses that we've built and we're working on that help you level up your security within your enterprise. So over the past year, we started to see a shift in the threat landscape where attackers were starting to use Office documents to package and distribute flash exploits. Now, this trend started to heat up in early 2018 with this technique being used in a number of high-profile campaigns targeting users of Office. To counter this trend, we coordinated with our partners in Adobe to push out an aggressive change to Office 365 applications to block Adobe's Flash and Shockwave controls and Microsoft's Silverlight controls from activating in Office by default. Now, we were able to do this with confidence thanks to our continuous investment in product instrumentation and diagnostic data collection that provides us with rich insights and an understanding of how our users, how our customers use Office clients. And we observed that the use of these controls on a day-to-day basis or a month-to-month basis is very, very low. If anything, those were all attacks probably. Now, later on in the session, I'll talk about how we're using these same signals, these same insights, to provide you with recommendations that help you tune the security of Office applications to suit your enterprise. So the change to block these controls in Office applications started to roll out in early June. And interestingly, around the same time, I know the dates aren't quite visible, we started to observe a campaign start that was using Flash exploits packaged in Excel documents to target users of Office. Now, thanks to this change, users on the monthly channel were immediately protected from the technique used in this campaign, even if they hadn't taken an update for the actual Flash vulnerability. This change is currently live for all users on our monthly channel. It will be available to users on the semi-annual channel in January of 2019. And this, coupled with Adobe's change to make Flash click-to-play in Office, will make this vector far less attractive for attackers. So we've taken a big step to shutting this vector down. Another example of a proactive defense we're working on is an upcoming change we're making to prevent the abuse of DDE in Excel. Now, this has been another popular technique that we've observed over the past year. So DDE stands for Dynamic Data Exchange, and it's a protocol in Windows that allows Excel to launch and communicate with other programs on the system. Now, this opens up a vector of abuse where an attacker could send a user a malicious Excel document, social engineer them to click through a few prompts, 3 to be precise, and run arbitrary applications on their system. Using the same data-driven approach that helps us understand how features are used in Office, how our users use Office on a day-to-day basis, we're making a change where Excel will no longer launch arbitrary applications via DDE. So the next time someone in your organization gets a document like this and they feel compelled to click through these warnings because they just want to know what everyone else got paid, like, heck, I want to know what Mike got paid. So If they click through these warnings, Excel will automatically step in and stop the attack from going forward. And you didn't have to do a thing except to deploy Excel, Office 365. Now, protecting users out of the box works great, but at the same time, we strongly believe in giving our customers the ability to tailor the security of Office applications to your environment. Because we understand that not all our customers are identical. You each have your own unique environments, your own unique use cases, your own security and productivity goals that you're trying to meet. And by being able to customize the security in your environment, you can leverage this uniqueness into a strength, because now your attackers have to tune their attacks to your environment. You don't look like every other customer on the planet. Today, we enable this customization on Windows specifically, through a rich set of policy controls we support that are configurable via group policy. And to help customers navigate these controls, we publish security baselines that are essentially policy controls along with their preferred, recommended values, to help our customers get started from a common starting point on their journey to customize the security of Office. So earlier in the year, we published a security baseline for Office 2016 and Office 365 applications. I just wanted a quick poll. How many of you today actually use group policies in your environment to configure Office apps? How many of you were aware of the baseline that got published earlier in the year? Okay, less. How many of you were able to successfully operationalize the baseline in your environment? Okay. So, fair point. So this goes to my next point. The current policy management workflows we have, they have worked for years maybe, but they are no longer adequate for the modern cloud-enabled workplace that you're trying to reach with Microsoft 365. Why? First, the group policy infrastructure is firmly rooted on premises. It requires you to have infrastructure on premise. It requires your machines to be domain joined, connect via VPN to get policy coverage. You have to keep track of policy templates as Office upgrades and import them and then deploy policies. All in a world where Office updates every month. Your users can download, install Office on any machine, sign in with their work identity, and be off being productive. Second, the security baselines are a great resource, but ultimately they are a static set of guidance that we put out for every customer on the planet. They are unable to capitalize on the uniqueness that exists in your environment to give you the best possible recommendation that suits how your users use Office. That actually falls on you, which is what operationalization is all about, like taking it, understanding if it works for you, and then tuning it. There has to be a better way, and with Microsoft 365, we're making this more simpler and intelligent. With Microsoft 365, we're evolving the policy management workflows in Office 365 applications with the introduction of Security Policy Advisor and Office Cloud Policy Management. With Security Policy Advisor, you get tailored recommendations for Office security policies, starting with macro policies, because we understand macros are typically a big attack vector that enterprises are looking for mitigations against. Tailored recommendations for security policies you can apply to Pro Plus clients within your enterprise. And with Office Cloud Policy Management, you're able to take these recommendations, apply them as policies down to your users on clients no matter where they are, whatever device, whatever machine they're using Office from. No requirement to have any on-premise infrastructure. So let's walk through a demo of how Security Policy Advisor and Office Cloud Policy Management can help an enterprise reduce its exposure to macro-based attacks. So our story starts with Contoso. Contoso is an application, is an enterprise that has Office 365 applications deployed and they're being used. The HR department at Contoso has off late come under a rash of attacks from malicious macro-enabled Word documents. Now, that's not surprising because users in HR typically deal with a lot of people outside the organization and they deal in documents. Now, Banu is a recruiter in HR. He's just gotten a resume from somebody named Jason. And he's got this from a job site or a social networking site like LinkedIn. Now, note that I said that because this document may not have come through your traditional pipeline, like your email pipeline. So it may not be getting the coverage from solutions like ATP or mail detonation. Now, for those of you in the room, security professionals, we all know what's going on here, but does Bhanu, like, is he going to fall for the trick in this document? Is he going to wise up? Or is he going to get protected in a different way? Now, let's wind the clock back a few weeks. Sarah is an IT admin at Condoso. She's worried about this. She's worried about the scenario. She's seen these threats being targeted via solutions like Office 365 Ti, threat intelligence. And she's wondering if there is a way for her to shut down this vector within her enterprise, starting with users and HR. Now, she looks to policies as a way to do this, but she talks to her colleagues, and they all say, well, you must be crazy. Like, that's just impossible to do. It's too hard. You might break a lot of people. But she's persistent. She wants to explore this rabbit, down the rabbit hole she goes. She hears about cloud policy management and security policy advisor, and she decides to go check it out. So she navigates to the new Microsoft 365 device management console. This is the console where all the client administration functionalities will light up, and starts up with the policy configuration workflow that lives here. So she has a set of options here. Policies, this sounds an intuitive place to start, so let me get started there and see if I can configure some policies for HR. So she spins up a config, starts to put some information. And here, you can see she's asked to provide a group. Now, these are groups of users, because your users could be using Office applications on any machine. So instead of having to track them device by device, all you have to do now is give a group of users who you can target policies at. So HR is a group she has in AAD, conveniently defined. So she chooses HR and adds it. Now she goes to explore the policies. Now these are the exact same group policies, that the set of policy controls that you can control via group policy. So it's not an equivalent sort of policy set that's been created. These are the exact policies you can configure via GPOs today that are now being transitioned to the cloud. So she can see a bunch of policies. There's just too many of them, so maybe she's going to restrict it to just macros. She's interested in macros. There's a bunch of settings here. She's interested in the ones for Word, but now there are two settings. I don't know which one to choose. Is it this one or this one? Well, Sarah says, I'm going to check this, see what's in there. There's some text here. There's a bunch of options. I'm not sure which one I'd choose. I don't know who I'm going to break, which is the right one. Maybe this one, definitely not this one. So she says, well, let me take some time, do my due diligence before I do anything rash. I'll go follow up with users in HR, do some interviews, figure out what's going on. So she creates this config and decides to circle back. Now, as soon as she's created a policy config, there's something happening in the background. The group is being analyzed. There are some recommendations being generated. And what's happening here is Security Policy Advisor is pulling data on the users that belong to HR, understanding what the usage of macros is, and is coming up with some recommendations for macro policies just for HR. So Sarah comes back after a while. She's had no luck with HR, people she talks to are like, macros what? Like, I don't know. So she comes back here. She sees, hey, there are some new recommendations available. Let me see what they are. She clicks in here, and she's provided with a tailored set of recommendations for macro policies applicable to users in HR. Now, this is customized to how users in HR use the feature in Office. She's given some recommendations where Security Policy Advisor is asking her to turn off macros in all applications except Excel, where she's only asked to turn it off for documents coming from the internet. So the choice between those two settings. She's also given some data on what the impact is, the questions she wants to answer. Am I going to break any users? She can drill in to the recommendation details. She's provided with some helpful information of what the setting is, some details on what the threat is, what's being mitigated. She's also delighted to see that Policy Advisor is pulling information from sources like threat intelligence to tell her we actually observe, the Office 365 ecosystem observes some attacks using macros against users in HR. So this gives her a good sense of how real the threat is. But finally, most important question of all, right? Am I going to break some users? This is all great, but who am I going to break? Who uses macros? Well, Security Policy Advisor is able to pull that information from the usage of Office and give her data on who uses macros in HR. Now, in this demo, there are no users in HR who use macros. Of course, we realize the real world is not as simple as that. But so now she's happy. She has some information. She wants to deploy this policy. But instead of having to go download a policy template, put it in her on-prem domain controller, configure it and push it out, all she has to do now with Cloud Policy Management is hit apply, and the policy is on its way to users in HR. So that completes Sarah's piece of the workflow. Now let's switch over to Bhanu, who's still opening that document. He's waiting and seeing, is he going to be protected? So just to demonstrate the policy's flow to any machine, as long as the user has the Pro Plus client installed and signed in with their identity. I'm simulating Bhanu's machine off of a VM running in Azure. It's not connected to anything. It's nothing. So he does have Pro Plus clients installed. He's signed in with his work identity. Now when Bhanu goes to open this resume, well, of course, he sees protected view. The first line of defense is warning him, hey, this is an untrusted file, you just need to read it, stay in protected view. But of course, the document has very helpful instructions to what to do. So Bhanu says, okay, fine, I'm going to enable editing. Well, when he does, instead of being given an option to just run macros, the policies that Sarah just pushed through have now come down to this device, and Bhanu's notified that, hey, your admin has actually blocked this functionality to keep you safe. Bhanu has the option to report an impact back to the admin if he thinks that this affects his workflow. But in this case, Bhanu's probably taken a step back. He's not seeing the options he has. He gets suspicious. Hey, is it right for me to second guess my admin? Maybe I'll go talk to them offline, but still, Bhanu's not able to run the macro. The attack is stopped in its tracks. So in this case, Bhanu decides to close the document, perhaps delete it, and follow up with this candidate to say, hey, send me a document that actually doesn't trigger any of this stuff. Like, I'm not able to see your document because of these policies. Now, with a few clicks and with help from Microsoft 365, Sarah has been able to reduce her exposure of her HR team to macro-enabled attacks in Word. She can repeat this exercise for other apps, look at the other recommendations and deploy them, do it for other groups of users in her enterprise, and continue to reduce her overall exposure and raise her security posture within the enterprise. The Security Policy Advisor and Office Cloud Policy Management are currently in private preview with enterprise customers. We're targeting to get this to public preview for all customers who have Pro Plus clients by the end of the year. But if you're interested in jumping in early, trying this out, giving us feedback, because you really value the value proposition it unlocks, please contact me. I'll also refer some additional sessions where we talk about this so you can get in touch with us. So here are a few other sessions where we'll be talking about Office Cloud Policy Management as well as Security Policy Advisor. I want to specifically call out this session where we are again going to run through these same workflows. So you can catch us if you're interested in, again, getting on a preview with us to give feedback. That'd be great. Here's the roadmap of the defenses that I just walked you through. I'm not going to read the slide. This is just there for reference in case you can refer to the slides offline. I want to close this session, again, by reinforcing the point that Office 365 client applications are not only critical to your productivity strategy, but they can also be a key part of your security strategy because they will always be the most secure Office clients, and they will continue to evolve and get better and more harder, more secure in response to contemporary attacks through continuous improvements we're making to these applications. And true to the Microsoft 365 mission, Office 365 applications will always be on a journey to make security both simple and intelligent for you and your users. So I want to close with a call to action. If there's one takeaway we want you to take away from this session is go deploy Office 365 client applications in your enterprise. If you're waiting for that magic reason, security it is. Because they give you an immediate boost to the security posture of your enterprise than being on an older version. And feedback is important to us. We try to get it in as many ways as we can. And as Mike mentioned, please enroll in the Office Insider program to try out new functionality like the sensitivity labels and give us feedback. Connect with us on the preview for Security Policy Advisor and Cloud Policy Management. And we're also running a focus group here at Ignite where we're not really piloting solutions here, but we would rather like to meet with you and understand what your security pain points are that aren't covered by some of the solutions we've discussed here. It's an open session where our job is to hear, your job is to speak and tell us what you need. So if you have time during these slots, please come in and join us for a focus group as well. I want to close by thanking you for your time. It is the lunch hour. I know it's a big sacrifice, so thank you for being here during the session. I hope you found it valuable. Please evaluate us at the Ignite app. And I think we're just on time to finish on questions, but we can stay around if there are any other questions. Thank you.
Yes. You have a wonderful application is co-authoring in your Office apps. What about co-authoring and encryption? If you encrypt a SharePoint library or you encrypt the file at file level?
Is my mic still on? Hello, hello? Yeah, so the question's about encryption and co-authoring and how they intersect and work together. You're right that today there's a limitation there. Encrypted documents hosted in SharePoint cannot be co-authored on. I don't have any sort of dates to share about this, but it's something that we're actively working on, working really, really hard across many different components, because we have Office, we have SharePoint, we have the encryption technology, and so on. It's something that we're working on, and we'll have more to share over time.
Okay, thank you.
I was just wondering if the Policy Advisor has any new reporting features?
Of end user after the policy's been applied?
Yeah.
Yes, that's something that we are working on to give the signal back. So like you saw, the client experience supports the user to give the signal back, and we're continuing to work on building the experience. So once the policy is applied, the admins continue to receive signals on how the policy is doing.
Okay, cool.
All right, and we'll just be hanging around if anyone has any more questions, but thank you all very much for coming.
Thank you.